Maximizing Your Impact Leadership Moments with Dr. Max Oluba. I hope you had a great week. Today is a wet day, but what I'm going to serve you this morning is hot, is fresh, is from the oven of insight, and I'm so excited about today's message, topic, discussion, because the topic is amazing. It's full of insight. It will be transformational for somebody at the end of today. Your mindset, your concept about yourself would have shifted. You will live here today believing and knowing that you can take on the world. So thank you for joining me from wherever you are joining me. Do me a favor, at the end of this video, please share it with your friends and with your family. We started a series beginning May, first Saturday of May, when we started talking about work and the concept of work and what is work. How do we succeed in the workplace? Should we give our best to our bosses? What are the principles that are necessary, you understand, to deliver excellence in the workplace? And that series in May was for me a blessing. But this June we decided to make a change, a detour, and we started looking at personal effectiveness and personal success. So call me your Instagram coach or your personal effectiveness doctor. That is who I am, and what I'm here to do today is to serve you a meal that would help you become a better person. What's the title for today's topic? The title is simple, is that you can achieve your widest dreams. Fantastic. You can achieve your widest dreams. That's the title of today's message. Somebody will be saying, wow, are you sure? Yes. So I want to take you on a journey, and I want to show you how you can achieve your widest dreams. I will tell you how this title came about as I go into this series. So do me a favor. Thank you for all the people that have joined. Please invite your friends and tell them that we are live. This is going to be short, but it's going to be very impactful. So that's the title. You can achieve your widest dreams. You can achieve your widest dreams. You know, human beings are goal-oriented organisms. They're goal-oriented organisms. There's something on the inside of us. I think from divinity, even from creation, we are wired to want to achieve something. We are wired to want to conquer the universe. I believe that there are two great motivations in the heart of every human being, and that is the desire to win, the desire to be successful, the desire to come first. Even for children, when they are playing, they want to win, they want to come first, they want to be the one that answered the question. My daughter will say, you didn't ask me the question, you asked the boy. Because when they answer, I give them like high five. You didn't ask me the question. There's something on the inside of us that wants to win, that wants to be successful. Every human being has that. Boy, girl, old, young, you understand, Negroes, Caucasian, whatever you want to call it. Every human being has that. The second major desire is the desire to be loved, to be accepted. And that desire to be loved, to be accepted, to be appreciated is as powerful as the desire to win. Today, I'm not talking about the desire to be loved and accepted. You understand, the desire to belong. So peer pressure comes from the desire to be accepted and to belong. I'm not here to talk about the desire to be accepted and the desire to belong. I'm here to talk about the desire to win. So let's establish it as a foundational principle that everybody wants to win. But the problem here is a child is born with that desire to want to win. But as the child begins to grow up, the child begins to hear, don't do that, stop, you can't, you understand, no. And before you know it, the child begins to believe that there's certain things I cannot do. There's certain things that are off limits for me. Yes, there are some negative things that should be off limits, but sometimes the child cannot differentiate between the negative and the positive, because the messages that the child have had is the no, don't, you can't, you understand, and that child begins to internalize it, that there are certain things I cannot do. So the child that is born with so much potential and so much grace, talent, gifting, whatever you want to call it, begins to sell himself or herself short. And a lot of us sell ourselves short. The price that we put on ourselves is not the price that society or the price that we are actually valued at by divinity, by God, our potential. And as I started studying this, I found out that there are there are two ways we sell ourselves short in life. We sell ourselves short from number one, believing it can't be done. That's the problem of possibility. It can't be done. And number two, I cannot do it. So it can't be done is about possibility. It's about looking at the potential of the human race and saying to yourself, it can't be done. Place a man on the moon, it can't be done. Perform heart surgery, it can't be done. You communicate with somebody at the other side of the world, you understand, instant communication, it can't be done. Now, a lot of the things that we say can't be done, today we are seeing it, all those things are being done. You understand? Humanity has conquered a lot of things. Now, the second is not about it can't be done, which is about possibility. It's about I cannot do it. It's about your self-concept, what you think about yourself vis-a-vis your goals, your dreams, your future. So those are the two ways that people limit themselves, because once you believe it can't be done or I cannot do it, then you have put a limit on what you can do. The boundary of performance is determined by these two beliefs: belief in possibility and belief in potential. Today I want to encourage you to remove the brakes. That's what I want to encourage you to do, to remove the brakes and to show you that your widest dreams can be achievable. And we'll use the common denominator here. The denominator is money. But before I go into money, because we can use about your health, your church, your business, whatever, your school, your children. But why do I want to use about money? You understand, there are three things about money. Number one is measurable, so we can measure it. I might not be able to measure your health. You understand, your health. I want to be healthy. I might not be able to measure that. I can measure weight loss, yes, but I cannot measure overall health. That's number one. But money is measurable. So you can say, I want to earn I want to earn $1,000 every month. I want to earn $5,000. I want to be the CEO of my organization. You understand? Money is measurable, which is M. So the meme of money is what I want to talk about here. Money is measurable. Second is that it is important. No matter how much we try to deny it, money is important. And why is money important, which is the third M, M-I-M, meme, is that money is measurable. So we want to use a measurable goal. And that goal can be, for example, I want to be the CEO of an organization by the time I'm 40. That's a measurable goal. I want to have a happy marriage. It's a fantastic goal. But we're not going to deal with that in this episode. But you can use the same principle to your marriage, to your health. But let's use something that we can measure, something that we can tell ourselves that, okay, we are making progress towards. And so money is measurable, money is important, because the third thing about money is that it's a means to an end. Why do I want, for example, $1 million in my account or $1 billion in my account? Is it because I just want to keep the money in my account? No. It's because of what money enables you to do. It gives you that feeling of importance, that sense of security, but most importantly, it helps you fulfill your other goals. That's what it does. So you want to buy a new car, you want to live in a fantastic apartment, you want to send your children to the best schools in the world. Money enables you to do that. So it's a means to an end. This morning when I sent the invite out to some of my friends, a friend of mine said, wow, I need an extra source of income. And I said, why? He said, because of the way the devaluation of the naira, can I sustain my kids in school abroad? It's a means to an end. So why does she need an extra source of income? It's simply because she wants to sustain these kids. She wants to give these kids the best kind of education that the kids deserve. So it's a means to an end. I don't want $1 million for the sake of $1 million. I want $1 million or $10 million or $500,000 or $100,000, as the case may be for you, because of what it enables me to do. The freedom that money enables me to do is why you understand money is also important. So what's the starting point this morning? The starting point this morning is to look at where you are right now. Let's take the starting point this morning. Look at where you are. Look at where you are concerning your finances. And we're just using that as a measure. There are other aspects of goals, spiritual, you understand, educational, intellectual. There are other aspects of goals. Career-wise, there are other aspects. We just take one aspect and apply the same principle. You understand? I'm a pastor. I pastor a church, so I have spiritual goals. You understand? But here, we just take one aspect and apply it. And the first question here is, so where am I right now? And that where you are can be that the size of your congregation. Where you are can be how much you earn every month as a banker, as an engineer, as an IT specialist, as an oil and gas specialist, as an entrepreneur. How much is your cash flow every month? So let's take a hypothetical example, and that hypothetical example can be $1,000. $1,000 is 500,000. That example can be, somebody might say you're speaking too much. Let's break it down. It can even be 100,000 naira. So my monthly pay is 100,000 naira. For some other people, their monthly pay is far more than that. But let's take a hypothetical example. And I came to this realization. Take that example of where you are, multiply it by 2 times. You understand? For somebody, the goal might be, I earn 100,000 right now. I want to move from 100,000 to 200,000. Or I earn $1,000 right now. I want to move to $2,000. I just want an extra income of $2,000 every month. So go from 2 times to 5 times. The person who earns $1,000 and wants to start earning $5,000 every month. That's 5 times. And you know, when you start getting to 5 times, even 2 times your current base, it's a leap. 5 times is a major leap. Then take your starting point and multiply it by 10 times. By the time you have 10 times, it's becoming very, let me not use the word outrageous, but you get what I mean. In my book, The Alphabet of Success, I called it bold dreams. When you say, I am earning 100,000 naira right now, and I want to start earning $1 million naira every month, that is big. From 100,000 to $1 million naira, that is big. Then let's take your starting point and multiply it by 100 times. Your starting point right now, multiply it by 100 times. Wherever you are right now, how much you're earning, maybe $1 million naira a month, and says, wow, I want to start earning 100 million naira every month. That is, so somebody, outlandish, outrageous, crazy. You understand? That is wide, 100. In fact, some of us, if we are to be real, some of us cannot imagine us earning 100 times where our starting point right now. Let's be real. Some of us cannot imagine somebody earning $1 million naira every month says, I want to start earning 100 million naira every month. The world will look at you and say, are you normal? From $1 million to 100 million naira. So let me tell you how this talking about today. This topic came about, you can achieve your widest dreams, or your widest dreams are achievable. This is a bookshelf. This is one of my bookshelves in the house. I actually have 4. You understand? 1, 2, 3. Yes, I have 4 bookshelves in the house, or even 5, but let's say 4 bookshelves in the house. And I decided to, as I started this series from May, I decided to go back to some of the books, and I started reading. So when I was teaching on work, I would read some things on work. So I started reading some things on personal effectiveness. Although I've written a book on that called The Difference, I went to my library and I picked some books on personal effectiveness. And I found out that amongst a lot of the things that they said is write down your goals. I know my goals. I know what my goals are. I know what I want to achieve. But I decided to follow the principle. I said, Maxwell, you teach people. So right now, become a student of other people. Write down your goals. So I wrote down my goals. And I decided to stretch, use the 10x model and stretched my goal and said, if I take my goal right now and I multiply it by 10x and say in the next 3 to 5 years I want to be, this is where I want to be. In fact, some of them I multiplied by 100x. You understand? And I said to myself, in the next 5 years, this is where I want to be. It looked very outlandish. It looked very big. But as I looked at my goals again, it just occurred to me that what some of these things that are outlandish goals are somebody's current reality. Wow, that was for me the biggest revelation or the biggest insight that came to me. So let's take somebody who is earning 100,000 naira and multiplies by 10x and says, I want to earn 1 million naira every month by the end of the year, by the end of 2 years, by the end of 3 years, by the end whatever. Now that's the person's outlandish big goal. You understand? But that person's goal, you understand, that looks so big and so crazy. You understand? 1 million naira. There are people right now earning 1 million naira right now. Not one, not two, not three, not four. In their hundreds and their thousands. There are people earning 1 million naira a month. So the person whose goal is outlandish, whose future looks so big and bold, for his future is somebody else's past. Let's take another example. So you are at 1 million and you want to earn 10 million naira a month. That's 120 million. You understand? Let's even look at it this way. 1 million is $2,000. So that's $20,000 right now. And there are people earning $20,000, 10 million naira. Of course, there are people earning 120 million. When we see the bank CEOs and the salaries that they earn, some of them, and the list I have seen, you understand, among the major banks, it's like 130 something million. There's a bank CEO that earns 300 and something million every year. That's 30. So for you that you are 1 million right now and you want to earn 10 million every month, I want you to just look around you and you can see that somebody else somewhere is earning that amount of money. Or you want to go to Harvard, that's your goal. Hundreds of thousands have gone to Harvard and come back from Harvard. So you want to start your own business. I don't know. You want to become a billionaire. There are people that are billionaire in dollars. I just saw something recently, I think 3-4 days ago. Tesla, Elon Musk, you understand, in one day because of the share price, earned $8 billion in one day. What's your widest dream? For some of us, our widest dream will not even include $1 billion in our lifetime. Somebody has earned $8 billion in one day. And that's the first realization that occurred to me. The first realization is that somebody somewhere has earned, you understand, what I am dreaming, praying, hoping to achieve. Wow. And for me, it just took, it didn't take energy off my sail, but it made me believe, you understand, that my widest goals are achievable. Now, do this exercise for yourself. Take whatever it is. So maybe you're a pastor and you said your widest goal multiplied by 100, 10x, 100x is to pastor 10,000 auditorium, you understand? So even if you're pastoring 1,000 now, which is good, and you multiply it by 10, it's 10,000. If you're pastoring 1,000 now, you multiply it by 100,000. Is there somebody somewhere in the world pastoring 100,000 congregation? And the answer is yes. Winners Chapel. I hear they have 50,000. It's not that they have 50,000. We know in the 90s, you understand, and they run 4 services, and they are building 100,000 seater congregation right now because the 4 services, you know, it's not easy running 4 services. So your widest, if you're starting from 10s, and if you're starting from 100 and you multiply by 10, it becomes 1,000. You multiply by 100, it becomes 10,000. Your widest dreams right now is somebody's reality. Somebody say, what about the CEO bonus? Exactly. Sometimes it is in billions. So yesterday, a friend of mine, one of my banker friends, were just talking, and I was just sharing with him some of my goals. You understand? I said, and he said to me, Maxwell, look at the kind of money that you're calling. And I reminded him this. And I said to him that this money that I'm calling, you understand, is big to us right now, but are there not people earning it? And he said yes. And we started asking, there are certain things that are publicly quoted. There's a CEO, a chairman of a Nigerian bank, whose direct and indirect dividend was 15.6 billion last year. Direct and indirect, 16. Direct was about 9.6. Indirect, everything was 15.6 billion dividend. That's not apart from the other things he earns, you understand, as just dividend alone. That's $1 billion, minimum $1 billion a month that man earns on dividend alone, from one of his organization. And he has so many from just one of his organization. That is what he's earning. So what is the first principle here? You understand that I've said it here, that your widest goals, your widest dream, maybe somebody here listening to me, you want to be CEO of an organization by 45. There are people that are CEO of multinational brands at even 44, 43, at even 30 multinational brands. Some of them started their companies, some of them did not start their companies, some of them have risen to that point where they are CEOs of multinational brands at 40, at 45. So that's the first thing. And when I saw that, wow, it just occurred to me that, Maxwell, this thing that you're calling your widest goals right now is somebody's reality. And if it is somebody's reality, yeah, it can be my reality. So two things I want to say here this morning. I want this to be short because I want you to leave here knowing this. Next week, I will build on the 7 foundational belief system that you need to have in order to accomplish your widest goal. But today, let's just agree that you can actually, my widest goal is not, it's not even supposed to be widest. You want to go to the moon. People are even doing exploration to the moon today. Moon travel is becoming another business. Virgin Galactic, Amazon, and the rest, Elon Musk, SpaceX, everybody is exploring. It's becoming another source of business where you pay how many $1 million and they take you around. You understand? People are looking at going to the Mars and the rest. So that's the first thing here. And it is powerful. If it is somebody else's reality, your widest goal, the second thing I want to say here is believe in possibility, is that your widest goals are actually possible. That's it. Believe in possibility. Because somebody else somewhere is actually and has actually accomplished it, has ended. Now, this is not about money, but we're just using money as a foundation. In my book here, the first thing I said here in the very first chapter here is that no matter where you are or who you are, you understand you have what it takes to design your life. You understand the life you want and achieve your own greatness. Your past, your race, your color, circumstances need not prevent you from achieving your goals and becoming all that you are capable. He said, why am I so convinced? Because there are men that we can see who have accomplished that goal. So if you decide to become an athlete, for example, who says you can't become the fastest man in the world? Usain Bolt, 2008 was when he entered the athletic scene, the first Olympic he went. But by the time he left the scene, he became the greatest. So the second thing I want to say here, so the first thing I want to say here is the belief in possibility, that your widest goals are somebody else's reality. And if it's somebody else's reality, then it can be your reality. Take that goal, multiply by 2x, multiply your current position, multiply it by 2, multiply it by 5, multiply it by 10, even multiply it by 100, which is by the time you're looking at 10x or 100x, that is crazy and outrageous, and you come to the realization that a lot of people. So I decided let's take it simple. What is one widest goal? We've talked about earning 100 million a month. How much is 100 million a month in dollars? 100 million a month in dollars, if I am right, is about $200,000. If I'm right, you understand, it's about $200,000 a month at the rate of 500 to 1 right now. You understand? $200,000. That's your widest goals. $100 million. Are there people right now earning $200,000 a month? In fact, footballers earn in a week more than what your goals are. You understand? Messi earns over 500,000 pounds a week. In dollars, about maybe 700 and something thousand dollars or something. So that means that Messi earns every day a minimum of $100,000. So what your widest goals are is what he earns in 2 days. In 2 days. And not that he has started earning it years ago. So your 5-year widest goals, you understand, is maybe 7 years past history. The second thing I want you to do here is the belief in your potential. The second thing is the belief. So first is the belief in possibility. Whatever that widest goals are, somebody else has accomplished it. Somebody else is accomplishing it. Somebody else is earning it. Somebody else is enjoying it. Some of us, our widest goal maybe is to ride a G-Wagon. Maybe your widest goal is to stay in a 1 acre land. You understand, with swimming pool and the rest. People are enjoying it. You understand. Widest goal, go to Canada. There are people that people have immigrated to Canada. Widest goal, going to Harvard. Widest goal, having a wonderful marriage. You understand. There are people people whose marriages are wonderful. I don't know what that goal is. You can take any area, spiritual, you understand, the people, whatever that goal, become, maybe widest goal is to become a bestseller, become the CEO of an organization. Whatever that widest goals are, somebody else somewhere has accomplished that. And for me, it was wow. And I said to myself, which is the second point, if somebody else somewhere has accomplished this, that is my widest goal, why can't I? Why can't I? That's the second belief that you need to have. Next week, I just want to talk about, I'm just laying foundation. Next week, I will look at 7 foundational belief systems that helps you accomplish your widest goals. And I said to myself, why can't I? If somebody else is pastoring a church of 10,000, why can't I pastor 10,000? If somebody else is pastoring, is earning £1 million, for example, or 2 million naira, or 5 million, or 100 million, why can't I? And if you look at it, the people who have accomplished your widest goals are not really more intelligent than you are. Some of them are not more intelligent than you are. Some of them did not go to school. Some people here, you have a BSc, you have a master's. I had somebody who, in the process of doing training, the guy has 3 masters, and he was asking me, should I go for a 4th one? And in my mind, I said to him, and I said that you have 3 masters already. What would the 4th master do that the other 3 has not done? What would the 4th master do that the other 3 have not done? The bank you're working for somebody who I'm not even sure has a master's. You have 3 already. And so if the people that have accomplished your widest goals, you have accomplished your widest goals are not better than you, that if you put them together on a scale, maybe your IQ might even be higher than theirs. So why can't I accomplish my own widest goals? Why can't my widest goal become a reality? Is the belief in potential. Now you need to believe that you have the capacity, you have the ability, you understand, to bring to pass your widest goals. Somebody else is living in your dream. Your dream is somebody else's past. Why can't it be your own past? Why can't it be a reality in your own life? And so that's the belief in potential. Now potential is not what you have done. Potential is what you are capable of doing. You know, so many years ago, this is not about money. Remember, I even wrote it in this book, that it's not about being the fastest, the richest. No, it's about being your best, whatever your best will be. But so many years ago, I stumbled across a book. I can't remember the title of it. I was in med school, and the guy talked about the chemical constituents of the human body. And he says if you use it as a chemical reaction, that the value of the average human body is $85 billion. When he said that, there was nobody in the world earning $85 billion, worth $85 billion. In my mind, it was outrageous. $85 billion. I beg all these people that will just sit down and write things that they do not know what they are writing about. But today, it's not 1, it's not 2. In fact, Bill Gates was the first person that cost $100 billion. Then today, we are talking about the $200 billion category. People have moved from you understand, 100, they've crossed 200. Who would have believed that a company will be worth 2 trillion? In fact, when Apple crossed 1 trillion, people felt it's too much, 1 trillion. Apple has crossed 2 trillion. And I just saw yesterday, I think Microsoft has joined the 2 trillion. So while some of us are struggling here, people have founded companies that are worth trillion, not in naira, trillion in dollars. Believe in potential says, if somebody else can do it, I can, because God is not an unfair God. If somebody else can accomplish it, I can accomplish it. You understand? That's the belief in potential. Belief in potential. That I have the potential, I have the ability, I have whatever you want to call it, to accomplish my widest goals, to become my widest dream, because there's somebody else doing it. And if success follows principles, and principles are no respecter of persons, you understand, the law of gravity doesn't know your sex, your days, you understand, they are no respecter of persons, doesn't even know your religion, you understand, the Christian, Muslim, atheist, it doesn't matter, the law of gravity works. And so if principles are no respecter of persons, then what I need to do is, how did they accomplish this? How did they make this dream a reality? I don't know. Am I making sense? Is somebody here? Are you with me? That's the belief in potential. So potential is not what you have done. Potential is what you can do that you have not yet done. So if you see that your widest goal is something you can accomplish, that's what potential is. Let's give a typical example. There are people who have been drug addicts that have turned their life around. Now, if you look at them, drug addiction is their past, is their history. Turning their life around is potential. And every human being has that capacity, that ability to turn his or her life around. Can I say this to you? I want to say something here. I tell you that I pastor a church, so forgive me here. There are two things I want to say here. You understand, as I begin to end this, which is believe in your potential. Believe in your potential to change things. You understand? I think Anthony Robbins talks about something must change. He now says, I can change it. He now says, I will change it. He talks about 3 things. Something must change. So right now, you look at your life and say, hey, the way I'm living my life, something must change. I need to move from where I am to where I need to be. I can change it. You understand? Something must change is that you're not satisfied with your current situation. Something must change is that you are happy with your result, but you know there is more. You understand? I can change it means that, you understand, it's not somebody else that will change it. It's not somebody else that will make you accomplish your widest goal. It's the principle of personal responsibility, that you need to take full responsibility for your result. And it says, I will. That's the determination. Hey guys, I'm going to accomplish this dream. I keep telling my wife that, honey, don't worry, the future is bright. Just relax. The future is amazing, because I know that I will accomplish my widest goal. And when I accomplish my widest goal, we'll be in an amazing future together. I keep telling her that I will. Something must change. I can change it. I will change it. It's the concept of potential. But let me give you an example. And that example is from the prodigal son. And I'm talking about your past, your history, the certain decisions you make. And the guy got to the point where he was feeding swine. You understand? Things were rough, and some of us we are not feeding swine, but things are rough. We are neck deep in debt. There's so many obligations and the rest. Things are rough, and if you are not careful, you think that is the experience of every other person. You think that is the experience of the world around you. But the same prodigal son, when he started the journey home, he got to abundance. So they call it the two kinds of thinking: scarcity mentality and abundance mentality. Scarcity mentality says there is not enough to go, and scarcity mentality says you cannot make it. Scarcity mentality says the survival of the fittest. Scarcity mentality is a zero-sum game. I win, you lose. That's scarcity mentality. It's not possible in an economy like ours to succeed. That's scarcity. But don't forget that even as the son was struggling with poverty, there was abundance in his father's house. There's always abundance, but you need to think. Then the prodigal son got to that point and says, no, enough is enough. That's he came to his senses and says, something must change. This is not how I need to live my life. Then he says, I can change it. And I says, I will change it. So he started the journey home. And when he started the journey home, favor, grace, whatever you want to call it, came to him, and he found abundance. He actually accomplished more than his widest dreams. His widest dream was to be a servant, and he was restored back. They killed the fatted calf, and he was like, wow, are you sure? So you need to take certain journeys, you understand, for you to get to your widest dream. And for those of us that are spiritual, you know that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all we can ask or think. So even in your potential, there are people without God. So people without God have accomplished so much. How much more you that have God as the backing behind your life? But you need to believe in your intelligence. You need to believe in your ability to turn things around. I want to end this because I said to most of the videos is 45 minutes. I want to keep it short to 30 minutes. I've done 32 minutes, so let me start 33 minutes now. So let me summarize. Let me just talk about believing in your intelligence, and we'll take on it next week. Now, see, do you know that every time you enter a plane, you actually transferring faith into the intelligence of the pilot. You don't go to the pilot and say, pilot, please, before I enter this plane, I need to see your degree. Which flying school did you go? How long have you been flying? You don't ask all those questions. You just enter by faith, trusting that the organization will not employ a pilot that doesn't know his or her job. You go to the doctor says, take this drug. You don't question so many things. You take the drug. You see, for those of us that are investment and investors, you see somebody giving you a stock recommendation. You buy the stock and the rest. You are believing in the intelligence of that individual. But when it comes to your own self, believing in your own intelligence, believing in your own capability, believing that you have what it takes, you understand, to become whatever you want to become, you begin to doubt yourself. And by doubting yourself, you sell yourself short. Every time you doubt yourself, you discount your value. Never forget that. Every time you doubt yourself, you discount your value. Every time you doubt your ability, you cut off a portion of what you are capable of doing. In fact, I think it was Robert Schuller that says that the worst word in terms of the mind is the word I can't. It's like a thermonuclear bomb on your potential. Once you say I can't, everything shut, doors shut, creativity shut, everything shut. Once you say I can't. Imagine if Obama did not believe in his ability to become the president. You understand, to become the president of United States, the first black man in the White House. And today people are talking about racism, critical race theory, racism. But in that same country where people are talking about racism, a black man broke through that barrier. And what was his theme of the campaign? Yes, we can. That was the theme of his campaign. If he did not believe in himself, believe in possibility, believe in his potential, about his name will not be written in history. In the same America that people are talking about critical race theory, black men, there are so many black men that are successful. Is it the Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnsons? You understand? Go to sports, go to athletics, go to different areas. You understand? People have succeeded in different areas. The problem is not the environment. The problem is here, what you think. I know that the environment plays a part, don't get me wrong. The environment plays a part, don't get me wrong. But in the same American environment, with the same racism and all the things that has happened and all the limitations in the environment, certain men have broken through the limitations and they've accomplished greatness. So why can't you? That's the question I'm asking. Because you've discounted your ability. So I need to stop here. I have so much to teach, but thank you guys. I hope this session has been amazing. I want to thank everybody who joined. You understand? Somebody says this is so deep. Thank you. I appreciate that. That this is another dimension towards believing in yourself and walking in faith in the right direction. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that you've had something today. For me, when I saw this week, I was so excited. Maxwell, your wildest dreams are somebody's reality, and I can. If somebody, I can do all things, I can. If somebody else has done it, the person is not better than me. You understand? The person doesn't have two heads. In fact, some of them, where I stand to teach, they take notes. So if they can accomplish this and they call me to come and teach them and the rest, then it means that I have something. I have something. And next week, I'll give you 7. So what I just did this today is just lay the foundation that at least you can live today knowing that your wildest dreams are somebody's reality. And if somebody else can accomplish it, I can. Next week, I'll give you 7 foundational. Now, I don't know whether I will give the 7 at once or whether I will take one, maybe like in buckets of 3 and 4. So we do 3 next week, we do 4 the upper week, we'll do 4. You understand? So that you can take notes, the 7 foundational beliefs that enables you to accomplish your widest dream. Thank you. My name is Dr. Maxwell Oba. Call me your Instagram coach or your personal effectiveness doctor. Either way, I'm fine with it. Do me a favor, like the page, share this video with your friend, with your family members, because it will bless somebody else. See you next week. God bless you. Thank you.